people do it. I was not allowed to open my phone where I have my notes for these comments. And I'm officially complaining that I'm being unfairly treated and I'm not able to make all the comments because I can't remember them. So I'm officially complaining about that. So we had a good election and we appreciate all the different signs on the different bags and things because it helped everybody to participate in the opening and the closing. However, my machine operator specifically said that they would like to have the instructions about the seals in the machine operator instructions and the information about what is supposed to be in the machines at the end of the day. Those pictures were not in the machine operator instructions. They would like to have those. Also, 3 of my poll workers were unable to access the online training and they complained to me about that. I did access the online training. I don't think that I was paid the $10 for the online training. I do know that in other counties, not all counties, but some counties allowed voters who had ID issues to call in and to provide the information needed. It would be much easier for voters to be able to do that. I was out driving around communicating with voters who did not provide phone numbers, who had either ID issues or curing issues. And it was going to be a lot of trouble for some of them to deal with those ID issues. Some of them didn't even want to bother. So I would suggest that you folks communicate and see about what other counties are doing. I know Erie County is very good about some things to do with curing, but not in this particular case. Trying to think what else we had an issue with. We had a voter come in who was in the wrong place. And we knew the poll pad printed out the proper voting district, but it printed out the wrong location. It was nowhere even in the city, but the proper location was Sacred Heart, and we sent her over there. And the roamer went over there also to make sure that nothing was going to happen with her being able to vote. But for some reason, the poll pad was making a mistake. Also, I had voters who needed assistance who, when they signed in, there was no indication that they needed assistance on the poll pad. But when I had the printed form did say assistance required. So I was halfway through filling out the form before I realized that they didn't need it, but I don't know why the poll pad didn't indicate that for the voter.
Credit, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the papers that go with that, did you write down
The ticket.
her name? Because if you don't write down her name and needs help, it'll never show up.
Okay, that person had on there, when the ticket was printed, right? I'm signing you in, right? There's nothing in the thing that says assistance required, but yet when I print out your poll pad ticket, it says assistance required. So somehow the poll pad already knew she was on there. That's what I'm saying, but it didn't, when she was signing in on the poll pad, it didn't say that. Okay. To my memory, since I don't have my notes because I'm not being allowed to access my phone, even though I should be allowed to access my phone. 23 people voted write-in for inspector in my district. We're really happy with who we have. Our majority inspector doesn't live in the district, so he could not have run. And we didn't want the minority inspector to run because we want her as the minority inspector, not the majority inspector. So if 23 people wrote in names for inspector in my district, Lord knows how many people wrote in names all over the county. And I know what a nuisance it is for people handling the ballots to deal with casual write-in votes. But I guess that it would be nice if there was some way to be able to for people to understand that somebody might win inspector, and I'll bet these people don't even intend to be poll workers. But if there's some way we could just educate people a little bit about what it takes, how much time, how much money of salary is spent dealing with all these write-in votes. You know, processing them and then calling people up and saying, did you really want to be a poll worker? Maybe that would limit the amount of that we have to deal with. I don't know what else I had to say, but I wish you would allow me to use my phone. Thank you.
Is there anyone else on that? Margaret Watts is on it. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Not hearing anybody else that would like to speak, we'll move on. New bid. And
Sure. We have an opportunity to spend some of our funds on printers, new printers for all the polling locations and a longer printer tray. And these will fit within the existing housing that we have. Currently, if people use the ballot marking device at the polls, it will print out a ballot with a QR code and a line showing who the voter has voted for. But it's not the same size or appearance as a regular ballot. So what this will allow is if somebody does use a ballot marking device at the polls, it will print out a ballot that looks just like the paper ballots that people are voting on. So all the ballots would be uniform in size, whether it's 14-inch, 17-inch, whatever the ballot length would be for a paper ballot, we would be able to accommodate that with the new printers and printer trays. So we are asking for approval of the funding to use for new printers and longer printer trays. And also some funding to upgrade our scanners, tabulators at the polling locations. And we're looking at doing that incrementally. So we would be able to accommodate 35 to 40 sites with 40 new tabulators right now. And then use additional funding at later points in time to start turning over those at all of the polling locations. So all of these scanners, all the polling locations would eventually be able to benefit from a faster scanner process.
anybody have any?
Just a source of funds for it.
This would be coming from our EIG line.
Make a motion to start discussion. I'll make the motion.
So
Discussion.
Yeah, discussion. You have anything?
Well, Ellen was asking a question, so I.
Oh, yeah.
she did answer though, it's from the election integrity grant.
Mhm.
But that has to be the council.
But this is to go to finance. first.
Yeah, this is a resolution recommending the release of the funds.
Right.
And so in another meeting, we'll pass an ordinance that appropriates the funds. If the funds are not appropriated, that recommendation falls flat for lack of funding.
Right. So this is a resolution to recommend to county council the next step.
Oh,
Mrs. Showerman,
Yes,
Mr. Scatella,
Yes.
Mr. Copeland,
Yes.
Mr. Drexel.
yes. Any questions or comments from the board?
Yes, right.
Please.
All I'm gonna do is something I say every time we have an election.
me too.
It's an outstanding job by
Thank
the election office. Ladies, you know, you control that. It's just, and this time it was so smooth. It was like, I sat here and it was like watching a TV show. That's how smooth it was. And I'm very proud of you. And if anybody gets up and in any meeting and tries to say something about this office, they're gonna hear it from me in the public and they can sue me all the time.
Just now. Mr. Chairman.
Mhm.
Yeah, agree, but I'll add to poll workers, judges, inspectors. every polling place that I went to. All the people working at the poll, very happy and cheerful. Some were maybe a little stressed out. But, and I know it's a long day, you see all the people come in and check in. And they're tired, and I understand it, and thankful. Fred, for you as well, like, really appreciate your advocacy for issues that you guys run into at the polls. When you have your notes, I really appreciate you forward them to me, cause we do take it very seriously and will be taken into consideration.
I was just gonna sing your praises too, so everybody's.
It did go very smoothly. It was a great election and again, the poll workers, the staff, our vendors, I mean, everybody is part of the process and it went very well. We will have a full election report at a later date. The purpose of this meeting was really to move forward with this recommendation. But after we are done reconciling and looking at all of the data from the election, we'll have a full election report.
Yeah, I'd say from talking to people that were coming in, like, it was resounding, people were like, this was so much easier, like, they were just repeatedly saying the things that. You know, they felt were working well and giving good feedback, and spirits were good, like. I mean. We wrapped up really fast, I mean, the new way of stacking all the stuff, bringing those bins up front and everything. And the truck being parked up front, like, it was such a well-oiled machine and kind of walked, like, we didn't have much to do until it's time to run balance stuff back. You know, throughout the night, so I do appreciate that. Anyone else?
I did have one more comment. The only minor, extremely minor, and I think Fred's comments were touching on this. We had 2 polling places that came back on the first time back and didn't have their card, and they had to go back and retrieve it. We had another polling location bring us the red card. And then even the tamper-proof, whether they secured the bag or not, was really irregular. Half the time the tag was inside the bag. So I think it would be wise to give, some sort of check there to ensure that really foolproof the heck out of that.
You did say there was like a record number of people who took online poll worker training, like, getting that up was huge.
It was our first time. I think we had 271 people participate.
It's great.
But you still have the in-person training.
Yes.
Too,
Mhm.
and that's the one that's mandatory.
Right,
You know, because they go through each step
right.
there.
Mhm. Anyone else? No?
I can provide a quick update.
Okay, sounds
So
great.
tomorrow morning, we're gonna start the final canvas, so it'll start at 9 AM. We have 342 provisional ballots. And the team reviewing the provisional ballots are saying that they're looking a lot better. So they're getting signed twice by the poll workers, by the voters, so they're looking much better shape. We have 41 emergency ballots and then 47 damaged ballots to be recreated.
Okay.
Do we have dates for adjudication?
We're gonna start tomorrow after the final canvas.
Sorry.
Do you have a final count on the turnout?
Well, we won't know until after we do our final canvas and count these ballots.
So when we have that meeting to verify and approve everything, could you get how many are registered? And not, I don't want the turnout for district or for municipality, just overall in Erie County.
Okay.
Cause it seemed like some places were fairly good and.
We have on our website a breakdown by district and it shows the number of registered voters and then how many voters turned out on election day. And how many voted by mail, and it also includes percentages.
Okay,
Yeah,
by party too.
no, we don't have a party breakdown, that's not available because it's not a primary.
Okay. Thank you.
Overall, we were above 44%. We were a little above 44.
Well, that's mainly what I wanted to
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
That's incredible.
That's
Yeah.
a huge number, yeah.
Yeah.
And like Tanya said, on the website, you can see a breakdown. You can go by municipality And you can compare from year to year if there's, some changes in voter turnouts or.
Yeah. I imagine Mill Creek was higher. All that probably brought the numbers up some,
Oh, the study, you mean?
yeah,
Hmm,
but that's
that's very
still
possible.
good.
No, we're good. All right. Good, Jim.